Ah, shit. All right. We'll just gonna start. We'll let people trickle in if we do the live. Most of the time, people end up watching after the live stream. But either way, guys, welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. I'm Cade, your guide. I'll be replacing a little voice inside you for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first thing, if you're listening or viewing on whatever platform you're on, if you haven't already, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, follow me and Bryce on Twitter, and join the Joyage Kingdom subreddit because we're trying to do a little bit of things on Reddit. At least I'm trying to experiment on Reddit. So today we're going to be talking about how to get a Web3 job, networking, branding with Bryce, the king of all these things. And yeah, he's been my head community manager for a long time. This has been, honestly, I'm not sure why this podcast took so long. I think we just have interacted so often. I don't know why we did the podcast, but we're doing it today. So welcome onto the channel, my friend.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So, hey, I see Web3, Natalie's in the house. Natalie, I sent you back a DM on Discord, by the way. So I did respond to you. So cool. Let's get started. So we'll just jump straight into the Web3 branding stuff. We'll talk about life things, talk about NFTs. We'll talk about our origin story too. Actually, you want to start with that? I've always told the story, but it's always been to other people, like while you're in the chat. But we've never actually discussed it I feel like on stream.
Yeah, it's never been documented before, but me and Cade spoke once. What was it? I think December or early January. But yeah, the first ever time I met him, it was in a TikTok live stream, right? I have no idea who this guy is, but I see he's hanging out with Sydney and One Mustard Grain, Will, back in the day.
One Mustard Grain, holy shit! I haven't heard his name in a while.
Right? I completely just remembered him. He's so funny. But yeah, just hanging out. Had no idea who this guy was, and I had heard a couple of his conversations and was just like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. I like what he's saying. He understands the NFT space a lot. And I got to get his attention somehow, right? Because that was one of the biggest laws from Undercover Billionaire, surprisingly not. That's where I learned that thing from. So you got to make yourself known and make it memorable, right? So I just figured to do the one thing that I was growing up doing, and just shit posting all the time.
Is that actually true? You actually thought that through before?
Yeah.
Because there's no other explanation. Because it literally makes no sense why you started just like attacking me and berating me in my TikTok live.
I know, it was funny for me too. My goodness.
Oh god. All right, keep going.
But yeah, we then later connect. I think you had sent a DM like, "Yo, what's good with you?" And then I was like, we were just hanging out after since.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, I was on a TikTok stream and Bryce just charges into the chat and starts like making fun of everything in my entire life. And I was so like bewildered because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what the fuck? Like, do I know this person? Like, I'm just so confused. And so, yeah, I just slid into his DM after. I was like, yo, because I didn't know if he was being mean or not. And I was like, I'm so confused what's going on. And then we just became friends. And then well, here's the thing. You start popping into my YouTube streams and like a whole bunch of different, Discord. You were basically doing everything a mod or a community manager does in Discord too. And then especially in YouTube streams, you were acting as kind of like a moderator in there. And like, you like very quickly understood my brand, like kind of what I was about, and so you like represented the Joyage Kingdom very just like well in general. And I was like, wow, that's like fucking lucky right there. That's pretty crazy. You run into some random kid on a TikTok stream who kind of gets you, and then we vibe really well. You were like super helpful, especially in the bull run. You just like were helpful as fuck. I don't even know how another word to describe you. You're just super helpful and super consistent. You showed up, and during that time, like that's exactly what we needed. Like, it was craziness. I mean, you remember the December, like how different would you say the time has been from December bull run, from the first 3 months that you were kind of in here versus now?
Night and day. My goodness. Even just on crypto Twitter, dude, it's insane the amount of people that are like just talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's insane.
Smaller people, smaller groups, just it's crazy. But they're more optimized now. That was one of the key takeaways. For sure.
I remember in December, like I was doing probably like 5 or 6 live streams a week. Like it was basically every day there was a live this shit was just crazy because like every single one was necessary as fuck. Like people would be asking for the videos. It was like actually time sensitive. And if you didn't get the video out, it like actually mattered at that point, which is just wild to think about because of how much the dynamic has changed. And so you're able to kind of network your way in and sneak around and make connections and friends with literally all the relevant people within the space as far as like content creation and YouTube, Twitter, all those things. You kind of jumped into their communities and people kind of know your name pretty much. And I don't even know exactly how, because like I talk about you in some of my podcasts and stuff like that, but I don't know where it, like, I don't even know how this stuff happened, but you became friends with all these people and then you slowly worked your way in, coming from my Discord and being head community manager there to jumping into Tom's Discord. How did that happen?
That's called being a leech.
Mm. Tell me more.
No, just like, I am really a friendly person once you get to know me. I just really get super nervous on things. So obviously I can't really, how do I frame this? It's easy for me to talk on Discord and just interview just like this, right? It's harder in more of a social, like when we were in NFT NYC, it was a little more difficult to network there. I could do it easily on like Discord and just content through this, right? Because I can do it faster. I can work on it, I can edit it, and then it's framing a different message, right?
Yeah.
And that's where really it's on the branding side of things, if we want to dive more deep into that. It's those are the types of people who I want to align myself with, right? The people who want to go further and push the needle for what they're trying to create. So that's what really aligned me more with you and Tom in the beginning. And that's where from then I can then see myself going forward with you guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, you're dope. You're dope for choosing us. In my opinion, we are going to be the ones who are staying. At least I'll be the one who stands at the end. I'm sure Tom will be there at the end. Well, I hope he's there at the end. I can't imagine he would just give up. He's all the fuck in for this business stuff and figure it out. And he's got Zark behind him. He's got Spaceman with him too. So they've got a strong core team. I've always kept it smaller. I really don't have anyone else. Probably just because I'm kind of figuring out the landscape as it goes as well. Like I'm learning things on the fly and applying them as I go. And I just don't have time. Like, I don't know. I feel like for my brand, maybe it doesn't make as much sense until I'm at a certain point. Like we've talked about it before off camera about bringing you in. And like hope like at some point be able to like have you move in physically closer, and then we can start doing content together and filming like more lifestyle stuff. Like I forget who it was. Someone in my Discord, like literally today, who was it? It's a lifestyle. Asked if I could do more like day in the life vloggy style content. I like making those videos. I just don't like actually filming those videos. It's a big pain to like film things, right. Which you fucking wouldn't know. Because I've never seen a day in the life vlog from you, my friend, on TikTok. And I've been pestering you to start making more video content. I haven't told you to make day in the lives, but I would love to see what that looks like, dude.
Yeah, especially with the new lifestyle I'm trying to adapt, just with everything else, because I have an actual job now. I can actually make money.
Yeah.
So more interesting stuff that I can do. So expect some things on the way, I will say.
So yeah, we'll talk about some of the different tactics there is to get jobs and connections to Web3. So, how did you get this new job? Are you able to talk about that now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm all clear with this. And we're circling back to what you said earlier, just about networking with the right people, right? And that's what happened. I met up with Zaddy, who is one of your head mods, and then we became very good friends.
Zaddy.
And then he gave me an opportunity with Dual Realms, which is an NFT project that he founded. It's a trading card game. And what really resonated with me was he's actually he's referencing other projects within his collection here. So it's a super dope game, actually, with all these cool pixelated designs of everything. And it reminded me a lot about Pokemon. And that's what got me.
So what happened? You just became friends with him, and he just was like, yo, you can join the team, you can do it. Hey, community manager. Is he like connecting with the projects that are in the game too, or is it just Dual Realms or Dual? So, yeah, what was it called?
What I'm doing, he has me doing community management for that, and he's got his own collab network that I am also connected with for Beyond Earth, which is one of the sister companies to Dual Realms now.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Beyond Earth, that's a good one to be networked with. A lot of people have, I don't know, they have good positive sentiment toward that project. So it looks like one of the trends we're kind of seeing here with the Web3 is basically how the networking branding fits into getting a Web3 job. I feel like, I don't know, in my opinion, getting a Web3 job is not even slightly different. It's like pretty different from getting well, maybe it's not so different from getting a normal job. Like, what would you say, like, some big key differences or some of the main reasons you got the Web3 job? Would you say the networking is the main reason?
Yeah, I would say without networking, I would not have gotten this opportunity. I would not even be considered for this position, even though like a lot of your content is focused on community management and how to actually build relationships with companies. I would not be able to even connect with that yet because I'm not at that level. The only way that I got that position was with my relationship with Zaddy.
Gaia.
And that's why it's not even the traditional networking thing where you have to, share a bunch of your info and hope someone else replies. Like it's literally just because we're friends and considers me.
Yeah, one of the things I always talk about is content and content creation around whatever you're doing, and I think it's better, it's easier if you're like an elite expert in it. Like I keep telling my dad, I'm saying this on another stream, I keep telling my dad to start making videos and content and just pay some kid a few $100 a month and just like edit that shit. I'm like, dude, you're like top of the game in Silicon Valley. Like, how are you not making content? It doesn't even make sense that you're not making content. I'm like, you're literally in the industry to make content about. And you could, and I don't understand. Like all you do is talk to people, and all you do is be in meetings. Like, what do you mean you're not filming these things? Because it's so simple. You like every single one, without fail, except for some with like purely networking, or just know people. But 99% of my clients come from videos that I've posted. 99% of podcast guests come on because of content I posted that they saw. So I'm like, there's like, it's like such an obvious answer. And you're also posting on TikTok. You're not doing as much of like community managing posts. It also might be because like I don't know how much there is to say about it. I think there is a ton of content to say about it. But in my opinion, content's the easiest way to get there. What do you think about that?
100%.
So tell me, why haven't you ramped up the community managing content on TikTok?
Well, for one, because I have it written in my drafts, and I keep saying, "Oh, there's this other thing that I could do," and then I forget about it. So it's really, I just have to prioritize that.
Well, the good thing is in this podcast, we're gonna be able to clip out something. I mean, I'm definitely going to for like my own content, but I hope you do as well. And it's like easy as fuck, dude. This kind of content is easy as fuck. How many you go on podcasts that often? Like the only one I'm aware of is the one from a few months ago. It was like 30 or 45 minutes, and it was audio only. I think it was. Have you got any other podcasts since then?
Yeah, since that, not really. I haven't much podcast level.
Yeah,
just because I'm not good at interviewing people. So that right there is like it kind of.
What if you're the guest? What do you mean? What if you're the guest?
No, I know. That's why I'm like.
Oh, okay.
Like no.
It is quite different, I will say, when you're talking to these people on Discord versus in real life. It's like it's like a totally different skill set, and also if you talk to them in real life, it's even more different, right? Like when we went to, actually we'll talk about this, NFT NYC. So when we got there, it was like totally different. The first time I saw you guys, I was literally, for people who don't know this, you need to go to NFT NYC's vlog that I posted, right? Go to my YouTube channel or just type in on YouTube, Cade Bergman NFT NYC. It's one of the best vlogs on YouTube. No joke. It is a fire fucking vlog. And when I first got there, I got sick as fuck because of situations, drugs, and terrible drivers in the city, and I was throwing up everywhere basically. But anyways, I finally get to New York. And I hit up Tom and Bryce and all them, and they're like, yo, we're going to go to this restaurant with all the other YouTubers and stuff. Just meet us outside. So I get outside, and like as I'm walking out, I run into the founder of Subducks, one of the founders, Stronk. And and I just didn't like expect to see him there in the elevator. So we were talking on the way out. And then like as I'm trying to like wrap up the conversation with him, I just see fucking Tom out of the corner of my eye, like running toward me. Tan as fuck, by the way. And then I see everyone running out, and I was like trying to say bye to Stronk. And then met up with everybody. We went and got food, and it was lit, dude. Like, what did you think when you first got there? You arrived with Tom, right?
So yeah, that was one of the first people I met there, because I got there I think like 6 o'clock or so the day before, because then I remember you were a day late, and then we had met up for drinks afterwards, and then it's just him, Zerk, and then NFT Spaceman. Those were the other notable people there. So.
Circus the GOAT, right?
He is, dude. It's so funny.
And he rolls around this fucking his over the shoulder bag that he loves so much.
Yeah.
Bro, that's I'm not sure what I would call that. I don't understand fucking European fashion. Like I don't know if that's European fashion. I don't get that shit. I mean, I guess it's practical.
Yeah, because I have a what is it? A 10-liter bag that's just a over the shoulder strap on like that.
Is it like fashion, like a luxury thing?
No, so the one I have is just like $60 maybe from Patagonia.
Mm-hmm.
But it fits my iPad perfect. So literally that's part of my everyday carry.
Fits in your iPad? Wait, your iPad fits in it? Oh, so it's like an actual bag, not like a little fanny pack.
No, it's an actual bag.
Okay. Got it. So at NYC, what would be some of your tips for in real life networking there? Because you did it, even though you said you weren't like quite as comfortable doing it on Discord, which I can imagine a ton of people watching this, especially people who work on Discord a lot. They kind of get that. Like it's way harder in real life because you're like, oh shit, like what do I say? How do I say it? Kind of thing. Things like that. Walk me through your NFT NYC, because like everyone's experience was different because it was such a condensed, intentional week where everyone was kind of there for different reasons, but we were all excited as fuck to be there. Yet none of us had done it really before, and so it was like our first time like doing this kind of big meetup with YouTubers and like hang out and stuff. Like we didn't really know what we were doing. Half the shit we rolled into, we didn't know what we were doing. Like guys, me and Bryce somehow wandered into the Hate Beast VIP event. I don't know how the fuck. Like I forget how we got into that. Like we knew someone who got us in. And we ended up in this like super exclusive event getting like free drinks and it started raining. But talk to me about some of those things, dude. Like about NFT NYC, like your experience.
Yeah, bro, I still have that shirt. That's like one of my favorite.
Me too.
Time too. But all in all, the networking aspect of it is recognizing that everyone has their own agenda, right? They have their own things that they're trying to do. So the number one thing that you could do is just focus on you and try and make it as comfortable as for you as you can, because you're in a scenario that you're not used to, right? So make friends just by hanging out, just asking what they need, if they literally just being friendly.
Yeah.
That's the 100% the biggest things that I've learned.
Did you who did you meet? So we saw dude, remember the subway station? So this was like at the end of the night, and it was me, Bryce, Bento Boy, Rice Cake, his brother, and NFT Pasta. Pasta was there with his crew, and
I didn't even know he was there until like the last 2 seconds.
I think it was just them and then us, and we were on our way back from some kind of event, and goddamn, bro, people were sloppy. Me and Bryce were okay, but people were sloppy. Someone was sloppy, and yeah, you walk us through it. You remember what happened, right?
So I remember going on the train there. I think was Tom with us, or was he with?
I don't think Tom was with us. No, he went out. I think he went out and kept drinking.
That's right, because it was like 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was time for people to go home.
Yeah, and then we were doing it, right?
Yeah.
From that night, yeah, I think that was shit. I actually don't remember that.
You don't remember it? Okay, so maybe you were drunk. It's possible. I don't know what was going on. Huh?
Maybe I was a sloppy one. I don't remember.
No. You actually, I think you were drunk because that was the Bubbles World party, I think, and you had gone back for another drink at the end of the party when it was over. You were like going the opposite direction. I was like, "Yo, we're heading out." You're like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, "No, we're going this way."
For like 10 seconds?
Huh?
Was Future there for like 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
I think that was that night. So you were, I guess you were drunk because you went back and got like another drink at the end of the party, and I was like, "Oh God, here we go." Yeah. And then so we walked down to the subway, guys, and we're trying to get home. And like some of our cards weren't working. Like we didn't really understand the subway system. So anyways, we finally get in, and like we were like we hear the train coming, we hear the subway coming, and it's like about to leave, and we're like sprinting to get there because I don't think we wanted to wait in there, and like the next train was like another 20 minutes or something. And we're like, we're gonna make it. Like the train had just got it. We're gonna make it on time. We're gonna get there. And fucking we all, I think a couple of us like hopped over the little thing to charge you for a ticket. And Bryce jumps over or something, and his like card falls out of his wallet, and drunk Bento Boy like runs back to like save Bryce's card. And then by the time Bento gets back, the train had left. And so now Bento's drunk, hungry, and angry at Bryce. Just like fucking would not let it go, dude. This shit was so funny.
The funny thing too, that was a debit card for Publix, I'm pretty sure. at
Is
that
that what
time.
it was? It wasn't even your debit card for real?
Like $3 on it. So I was like, okay. Thanks, I guess.
Bento, bro. Shout out Bento for going back and getting his card and then giving him shit for it. That was pretty funny. And then we ended up in that video. That's in the vlog, fam. Not that exact scene, but the scene in the subway where we're all talking and talking about stuff and rating future, rating the party. That's all in there. So make sure you guys check that video out. But yeah, NFT NYC was a lot of fun. And we what did we do? We went and did a bunch of parties, went to a couple networking events. We missed like I didn't go to Ape Fest, missed Ape Fest. Even though we had friends who were like apes, we easily could have gotten in. Completely forgot about it. And I mean, there's just a bunch of parties. Like, what else? Did you go to anything that I wasn't at? Were you with me most of the time? I forget.
The day after, I was with you for most of it, and then later, because later I had to go to my aunt and uncle who were in Jersey. But yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fun.
True. Well, anyways, we'll move on. We'll move on from NFT NYC. While that was a great time, and y'all need to check out that vlog because it was the most fun I've made. Probably the most fun vlog I've ever made. And all the squad is in there, dude. Like literally everyone we know is in there. Were you surprised by anyone that you met? Did they turn out, I don't know, being different than you thought they would be?
No, I figured everyone would have been young and like kind of fun to begin with. I didn't think anyone was kind of like different in person. It was more just we're all actual people.
Yeah.
We're not like 40-year-old men just hanging behind a desk.
How much did the conversations change from like Discord? Like how would you label that, I guess? Like for me, when I go into Discord conversations, they're very, very different than when I meet I think they are different from in real life when you meet someone to connect and talk about stuff. Have you done much of that in real life stuff? Because I don't know where you're at as far as in real life events and stuff.
Yeah, so there's more like nuances. It's just Discord, obviously, what's the worst thing that can happen? You get hacked versus what's the worst thing that can happen in real life? You get stabbed and you're done, right? Like, it's just, there's a huge disparity.
Bryce has adopted the Andrew Tate mentality. Someone's out here to stab him.
No, you just get comfortable just talking. That's really it.
That's true.
And then
That's true.
Skills that you work on. And then the more you actually get in that scenario, you're going to be better social speaker and everything else.
True. Well, speaking, I don't know why Andrew Tate would bring this to my head, but what did you think about Elon? I just tweeted about this yesterday. Like Elon Musk comes in, buys Twitter, just like after months of like, I might buy it. And then it's just like, boom, one day he just kind of bought it. And then he went and took it private, which I didn't even know you could do like that. I didn't know you could just take it private that fast. Takes it private and fucking walks in, fires everybody, and then says, I'm bringing back Vine in the tweet. Like, what are you excited about this? Do you like Elon? Are you excited for the future of Twitter, the future of Web3 places where people congregate?
Oh, yeah. And the biggest thing, too, at that level, Elon has been notoriously known for being a headline guy. He just does shit that he wants to do. That's really it. It's insane what he's been able to do right now. And I didn't even know that they turned it private, but it would make sense. They're trying to optimize it to make it one of his companies.
Yeah, very true.
Have to protect it for what his plans are, just as what's been out on content right now. He's trying to make it be more of an accessible platform for people.
Yeah. And to bring some value to people who are watching this as well, where, Bryce, is the opportunity? Where is the opportunity in the Web3 world as far as social medias? Which platforms should they focus on? And then how and if they change, like what are some of the tactics, if you have used any, versus like on Twitter versus Discord versus TikTok? Because you've grown and you have your own network on each of the platforms. Where like there's some people who would just watch you on TikTok or who know you from TikTok, some people who know you from Twitter, and then some people who know you from like Discord and stuff like that. Like how does it change? Like how would you utilize Twitter right now, or for like a new person?
So Twitter, funny enough, I'm looking into that for more short form video, just because they've updated their stuff, right? So whenever you have a video and then you swipe up, just like TikTok's algorithm, it shows you more videos below that. It's not just the videos that are in that tweet itself. I've been debating going and just reposting all my short form into that.
Smart.
But all in all, and I'm seeing more content about this too, it's still YouTube, just for search and everything else.
Yeah.
because most of your data still is safe with Google still versus TikTok or anything else, right?
That's true.
Even if you want to think of it like that, like just owning your data, owning your community is easier on YouTube than any other platform.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I think also as Twitter kind of progresses in the next, I would say in the next 2 months, you really need to focus on what Twitter's doing. I think for anyone in Web3 right now who's looking for opportunity, Twitter for me has the most as far as networking purposes, which is kind of like the main topic of this conversation, because it's so easy like, I guess I guess network is a good verb to use here. Like, it's so easy to connect on Twitter because of like how easy and simple it is. You just go to their whatever they posted, you can just click on their page, follow immediately, send a message right there. And it's so easy to connect with people on Twitter. And there's so many different styles of content. You get like Twitter's a really good platform for like almost like an everything app. It's got everything there, and I don't know, it's like a really authentic profile of you. I think like it shows your inner thoughts, what you're thinking about the stuff. It shows the type of person you are. If you're a shit poster, if you're a knee-jerk reaction person who just reacts to everything, if you post educational content, if you like, it depends like what you are, but the opportunities are there on Twitter. Like Twitter Spaces blew up recently. Thread Guy, Bark, and Alex, Chill and Villain, these 3 dudes who just have hilarious PFPs and just fucking yell at each other all day long. Like, and they have grown so fast, and people don't know this, but like projects who are on stage with them, who you're like, wow, how'd they get on stage? Like, they pay it, obviously. Like, they're making good money too. But what do you have you been on the space? Have you heard of those, by the way?
Yeah, so I went on to one and instantly regretted it. They were at some argument, and it was just the dumbest thing ever. And I'm like, I can't fucking pay attention to this. This is for someone else for sure. I'm not the target audience.
Yeah, and that's actually really important. Like, for you, when you make content, do you think about that, and how does it affect the content you make? And yeah, I guess talk about the target audience, because that's something I talk about a lot. I'm sure you've heard it a million times out of my mouth.
Yeah, so that always goes in the back of my mind, but realistically, I'm trying to get more comfortable sharing shit that I know. Right.
Got you.
I don't want it to just be, this is all I do, this is all I am. Because if you consume more Gary Vee's content, it's broadened out, right? Because you're human, you have different interests. They may not align perfectly, or they may align perfectly, but it's still you. You have, like I keep saying, your talent, knowledge, skills, and experiences that make you unique, right? So anything that would make you likable, anything that makes you you.
Do you post content for people who know you, would you say, who already know you, and you're trying to expand on that relationship? Or do you post content more for new people if they've never seen your page, kind of thing?
It depends on where you're at, because you're reading this right now for your sales funnel, to where the awareness stage, you're trying to introduce who you are and everything else and how you can actually help them, right?
Right.
And in the consideration phase, you're then saying, hey, you're just going straight into the content, like you're aware of who I am, and then you're just doing that, right? And it's for everyone else. Like, it just depends on what stage you're at in your funnel, and then what content you're putting out to begin with.
Yeah, no, for a fact. Also, I see some of the comments here. I see, Kate, do you make 6 figures doing Web3?
Nope.
Actually, I would say I made a lot of money in the bull run, but I also spend a lot of money. So the way I look at money now is, for example, if I make $1,000, then that pays for like 30 days of life tuition. Like, life costs about that much money per month, something like that, like $1,500 a month. So when I make that much money, I think about how many days of content that is and how many bits of content that means I can put out. And it's sort of like when you invest money into ads and you spend $10 on an ad, hoping to get X amount of money back out of the ad. That's sort of how I look at content. So especially during the bull run, I didn't know what that looked like. So I would just buy other NFTs, thinking like for relationship builders or for whatever reasons that made sense at the time. So I spent a fucking lot of money. But I think in a full year scheme, I probably would have hit six figures during Web3. It's done well, but the thing is, I spend a lot of that money. Like, I'm really, and it's not because I'm a bad spender. I think in the first few months it was because I just wasn't used to that kind of money. But now I still spend a lot of money, but I guess the easiest way to put it is like I'm always over leveraged right now because I'm 24, and I I see the okayness of going high risk. You know, like I'm ultra high risk. I'm like one fucking accident away from being screwed, essentially. So let me hit on wood, and hopefully that doesn't happen. But I'm super over leveraged because I use every single cent to push myself even further, even though the risk of that is high. Like if I get fucked, then I'm screwed. But yeah. Let's see here. Anthony lures Elon. Fact check Biden needs to go. And then last one here about the Twitter Spaces. You can host. Yes. So another thing is like when you host Twitter Spaces, or if you just come on as a speaker, dude, you pretty much will get followers every single time. I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you speak in a space, you're probably going to get a couple follows there, and it's just such an easy way to grow your following, because especially with Twitter Spaces, it can be very calculated and specific. So someone can come up and be like, Bryce, we want you to talk about this very, very specific niche thing for like 2 minutes. And then you just rant for 2 minutes. They have a little discourse back and forth. And then 7 people in the Twitter space found value from that. And they say, oh, Bryce is a resource for this. And they follow you. And then they know you from that now. And then you post the rest of your content. Like you're super active on Twitter. I see you posting a lot of content on Twitter there. And yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's good. So anyways, let's see here. I got a couple other questions that someone had asked in Discord I want to pull up here.
So with that too, I had gotten a lot of followers from just hopping on Tom's Hot or Not show back in the day.
Yeah.
With him and Andres.
That was a good show. I like that. I did enjoy that show. Actually, me and Andres have been thinking about ways that we potentially could do some content, because we talk every week and we do a lot more planning, brainstorming things. Like we'll just get high and we'll just like I'll literally pull up the notes app and like we'll actually brainstorm. It's not like we get high and like pretend to work. Like we actually get, if Andres, if you're watching, like we get a lot of shit done actually. Like a lot of video ideas pop in my head, business ideas pop in my head. Because like we'll just put up a notepad with like 3 questions or 3 prompts, and I'll just try and fill up the page with stuff, whatever comes out of our brains when we're thinking. But we are trying to get some content out there. But hold on, I still can't find that question. But anyways, we'll talk about branding here a little bit. So the reason that we connected was partially because you berated me in the TikTok comments, and then you were being helpful. But not only that, like that's good and that's great. I've had people who were like that as well. But you also understood my brand. So where would you say like my brand with the Joyage Kingdom, our brand of the Joyage Kingdom, lines up with your own morals and values and shit?
Yeah, so they align with the ethos of what I'm trying to do in life. Just carve my own path, pretty much, right? And be the helpful source for other people, because that's how shit gets done. And that's how you actually help people, right? You have to do the work yourself and then relay that message to 5 other people. Mm-hmm. And then that empowers those 5 people to then empower 5 more people, and then so on.
Do you see yourself leading your own? Do you have like, I don't know what the word would be. Do you have your own like brand idea, things like that?
It's brewing for sure.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
It's especially with my other creative stuff that I'm doing right now with Blender and everything, getting better at 3D and getting better at video editing. Like,
let's go. What? So hold on, Blender, 3D, like you're trying to do art?
Yeah.
As in you're trying to design the NFTs, like the NFT art kind of thing?
I could do it from that, but right now I would just like to do like motion graphics and shit. That's obviously more 3D stuff, but think Roger Rabbit and what Gary Vee's doing right now. Mm-hmm. And just how you can incorporate that into real life.
So I'm hearing is stacking skills. Stacking skills the Alex Hormozy way is where we're at here too.
Yep. 100%.
Have you read that book, by the way? 100 something, you know that book I'm talking about that Alex wrote?
$100 million offers, yeah.
How is that book? How does it line up to .com Secrets or something like that?
It is $100 million more than .com Secrets.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Actually?
Yes, because what you're reading right now is to set up the sales funnel to then introduce you to the offer, right? It doesn't really touch on the offer as much as 100 million offers does.
Okay, so what does it hit on?
The piece that is going to convert people from what you're doing is setting them up to convert, right? Because you're building that interest, building that awareness, and then you're leading them into the consideration phase.
Gaia.
Really can see it. There's a review from Russell Brunson too that says like, this book is insane. Like everyone should read this.
Fire. Sounds good.
Review. People should read that. Is that good?
All right, well, I will read that. I just figured I've watched so much of Alex's content. I was like, what could he possibly have in the book that I haven't already heard from his mouth? But I guess I got to read it now. So guys,
It's
I'm really
all
bad at reading.
yeah.
I'm bad at reading. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like one of probably top 5 worst readers on earth. And the thing is, like, for some reason, I don't like the idea of audiobooks. I just don't think I don't think I can take in the content the way I want to if I'm listening to an audiobook while I'm playing a video game on my phone or something. I just don't think I'm going to have that same. I want to be able to focus on it. It's just really hard for me to do that. But I'm reading .com Secrets. I'm 2/3 of the way done with this book. It's hard to read it because I get excited and do things as soon as, like, it's like the best worst habit ever. I can't get through the book because all I do is implement it. Like, I literally, as soon as I learn something, I go and change my website to go like apply it, which is the best thing, which is what you want to do when you read a book that's about like self-help and like getting better stuff. But it's getting hard to read the book because I keep stopping. And then Traffic Secrets, the next, I think that's second or third book. I have Expert Secrets as well. That's coming in the mail literally right now. It's shipped today. And then I bought this book. This is written by, what's his name? Sean Cannell. So he's the... Yeah, I forget what his YouTube channel is, but I love their YouTube channel, and so I figured, you know what, I'll just buy this book. I'm on a book buying spree, and I don't know, I'm kind of like in your sense stacking skills, but these are like mental skills. You know, like once you learn these things and they're in your head, they're in there forever. And it's the same with skills. Like once you learn editing, it's over. You just know how to edit now. Once I can be a bartender, I can now move to any city in the world and not even rely on my digital job. I can move anywhere in the world and have a normal job and a digital job, which is the main reason I got it, for safety. Like that's why I'm wanting to bartend, because I can literally be safe wherever I'm at. And that's the benefit of like having skills and stuff like that, dude. Because you're set, you're good, and you're not always gonna take dubs. Like sometimes you'll take an L. Like how about this, Bryce? Let's talk about our L. Well, my L really. The Joyage Kingdom expansion fellowship. So me and Bryce kind of came up with this. It was like an idea I had, and then I brought him in, and I was like, yo, this might be actually something really, really cool. And it didn't end up working for a few different reasons. Do you want to expand on that a little bit, or do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, so we can both get into this more, but at the time it was a phenomenal idea. You know, it's an agency model that would help Web3 companies kind of build their brands and create more content and create their communities more effectively versus what they have been doing from previous the 3 month, because it was like April we were thinking about this.
Yeah, either way, it was a dead ass market, completely dead. People were not spending money. They didn't want to spend money. And I don't know, I think part of it may have been also like how now that I've read this book too, like how we lined up that offer. It might even make sense now, like after I read these books and kind of adjust my company to maybe either complement or add to the current offers I have for what I do for my business. But either way, keep going. Sorry.
Right, because now looking back at it, it's a better upsell for what you're doing versus just a straight out, we're just a full-blown agency, right? And even with that, the companies themselves aren't going to be able to spend money if they're unable to actually get shit done, right? So
yeah,
our audience was not who we thought they were.
Yeah, the target audience wasn't looking to spend money, which is a difficult target audience to make money from if they don't have money to give you. So ended up putting that on a break. It was a good experiment though. Like we called it the Joyage Kingdom Expansion Fellowship. And it was essentially you would get access to the Discord. The Discord, we would drop, me and Bryce, because we're so active on TikTok, we drop all the trending sounds and visual effects and stuff, which boost your videos. Like you pretty much will get an extra 400 or 500 views using a trending sound or video or like visual effect, right? And so you'll instantly get bigger reach from it. And we just were on TikTok so much that we were like, oh, it's so easy to adopt this. Like all you have to do is just tailor to your own kind of content a little bit. It takes like 2 seconds. And the idea was to basically make everyone a TikTok monster. It was the idea. And we would just drop all these tips. We'd help them with their content. We'd have like weekly meetings and stuff. And so I agree. It makes way more sense to be an upsell now. The thing is, I'm not as active on TikTok right now as far as like trying to figure out the trends. Like I'm not focusing as much on the trends. I'm doing lots of podcast clips still. I still think that's the hack. Like I just think, I don't know, part of me wants to create like a webinar / course, which I think I'm going to do. And I've got a couple ideas in there that just make it very different. Like I know everyone's already made the courses. I already know everyone's got like an NFT 101, but no one has even come close to the idea that came up in my head while I was on mushrooms. This is a different thing. This is a different monster. So I'm excited to drop that. But what I don't know. Like what, I guess, did you learn anything from that? Like I feel like I learned some things from there. Mainly just the idea that like it's okay to start something and just pause it, or put a bookmark in it, you know?
Yeah. The thing with that too is we actually are working on it, right? We were constantly updating it.
Yeah.
We were just unable to connect with it. We were pushing through it, right? Because we had spent like a couple weeks working on it.
Yeah.
But zero response. It's like, okay, we'll just keep this for ourselves then. Because I still go back and update it, right?
You do, yeah. Every now and then you post something. I'm like, hey, you know, this channel's like closed for the most part, right? Like it's still there. But no, that would be something great. Like it's basically like working out the like the framework of everything. And I think it all adds, like the way I look at pretty much every experience in my life is just stacking bricks on top of each other. Every conversation I have, like part of the reason, another reason I got into the bartending world a couple times a week is so that I could have real person interactions again. Like you said, it's way different online. Even this, dude, even a virtual podcast like this is different than an in real life podcast. If you've never done a in real life podcast, it's not that different, I guess. It depends like how comfortable you are talking in front of people. I've got a lot of experience talking in front of people just from my other jobs in the past. So it's not so big of a difference for me, but it is different. Like when you're sitting there next to them and they're talking and you have to like pick up on social visual cues that you normally wouldn't have to, body language, speaking too fast kind of thing. Like that all comes very apparent when you're right there in person. You got to think about like, small talk while you're setting everything up, things like that. But yeah, and I see Igor in here. What do you use for interviews like this? Good setup. Thank you, bro. Restream. Restream is the answer.
That is the alpha, Restream.
There is no other alpha, fam. I don't care if you use StreamYard. I don't care if you use Zoom. I don't care if you use anything else. Restream is the alpha. It's the best by far.
But TBH, if I end up working with you, we're going to have to do a YOLO box.
What's that?
Because that's like a legit production thing.
YOLO box? It's another streaming service?
Yeah, that's a legit streaming service.
Okay. I mean, if it's about upgrades, then I'm down. I'm down because it'd be also cool to have like little sound effects. Like, they have like a soundboard and stuff. Like I want all that stuff. My friend Mark has an entire podcast studio in Jersey, which is, that's actually part of the NFT NYC vlog. I went to go visit his studio in Jersey when I was up there in New York. And dude, like when you walk in there, it's so different. Like there's a soundboard, there's all these mics everywhere. There's like a big video screen to play videos and stuff like that.
The sound, everything just looks dope. Ugh.
Yeah, there's a few of us, dude. There's a few of us that are we're all like kind of friends, like Matt, Andres, like who are all like fun, good on camera, and like it'd be really cool to have some either like a content house or like a studio where we could all go and film content together. That just like it looks so fun, and there's a lot of people who do it. You definitely need the resources to do it and the time and the effort and employees. Like you pretty much, if you're gonna do something like that, you pretty much need a producer to put those things together and to like be there for the cameras and stuff like that. It's like that's something that's way in the future. It'd probably be easier to partner up with a company who's going to set that stuff up for me, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know where we were going with that, honestly. But Restream is the alpha, 100%. 100%.
No, but with that too, the managers with it. So you have like a whole network of people in that house too. It's not just the town.
True.
So there's got to be systems and processes with that.
Yeah. Okay, so for the broader Web3, there are a bunch of jobs. In fact, I have a series on my YouTube channel called something like How to Get a Job in Web3, something like that. And I posted a TikTok a long time ago of a bunch of random different jobs that are available for a lot of people, and I have it here now. So I will... Shit, where'd it go? There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to run through some of these, and we'll just kind of like see where the conversation goes from there. There we go. So I have
10 out of 10 importance. Community manager, 10 out of 10 importance.
It's a fact, dude. There's a lot of companies don't focus on a couple small little factors that pretty much affect everything. Community managing is one of the biggest ones that just flies under the radar. They just kind of hire whoever to be a community manager. And I don't know. I think there's different things that it just affects it. So anyways, here's some underrated jobs and careers in Web3. So I just wrote these all down. Copywriting, which is big, especially for YouTube Shorts. I just posted this on Twitter. Gary Vee has finally been watching my content. He's now finally, after 6 months of me yelling, has started to make content about people posting on YouTube Shorts and the fact that it's only about this is my favorite part. When he said it's about the title, I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's clickbait 101 though. That's the point.
It's not it's not only that, it's the fact that it's a short form piece of content that's new and people were treating it like TikTok and focusing on the first 3 seconds and the hook and all this stuff. And I was like, no, it's not even important. You don't even need a good hook. YouTube Shorts not about the video. It's about only the title, which is wild because it's short form. With YouTube, it's different. With like a normal YouTube video, you need the clickbait and you need the first 3 seconds and everything else to be good to be able to watch the video because it's got to be a quality video. With Shorts, like people are just scrolling through it. You just need that view. You don't need them to sit for the whole 6 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. Like it really is only about the title. Yeah. Anyways, that's basically what copywriting is, though, is being able to like figure out what that copy is that's gonna get people to either click or watch your video or whatever it is. So massive one. And plus copywriting, you can charge some unbelievably disrespectful prices for that. UGC content creation. This I'm actually surprised you haven't. Is this something you've tried to do?
So it depends on the product itself that you're going to be UGCing for, right? The type of company itself. For games, for Dual Realms that I told you I'm a part of, I'm going to be doing a lot of UGC for that and then holding a lot of events.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because I love games in general, and that game is going to be super fucking fun.
You a video game guy?
Oh, yeah.
Which games?
It sucks that you are not, because I would just challenge you in Mortal Kombat all day. Like, literally, that is my shit. I love it.
If there was a way for me to, if there's a way to monetize that where it made immediate sense, I would be down to learn it and attribute some time. Unless I'm going to be a streamer, which is something I'm thinking about, like a way to incorporate streaming into the brand, I really don't care for it. I'm also just not that good. So that's probably the main reason, honestly. But
you can delegate it to me. I'll take all the profits for that.
Sounds good to me.
Once I'm going to have to plug this here, but Undead Blocks is Call of Duty Zombies.
Okay.
Played Call of Duty Zombies for probably like my entire high school career. Literally. My absolute favorite game.
Is that were you a big gamer in school? Like, is that what you were doing most of the time in school?
Yep. That, and I was playing football too, so I literally was just everywhere at that time. So fun.
True. I see Michael here. Oh yeah, Michael, you're like a known UGC content creator. What do you say? Yep. He said, I've been doing UGC content creation, but it's hard for me to get a response back. Yeah. I guess my brain immediately goes to that book now where I'm like, okay, it's more than likely because here's the thing. So especially once I started to think more about business, I don't know if the universe picked up on that and started sending me people, but my inbound requests have gone through the roof as far as people contact me for whatever pitch or whatever they want from me. So I'm listening to pitches probably 10 times a week now. So basically every day there's at least one. And I would say 9 out of 10 of them are terrible, like so terrible. It's actually shocking, but not because it's bad, because the way they're trying to sell me on it is so painfully bad. Like the idea is whatever. The idea is usually fine, but the way they're packaging it, and within the first 2 minutes, I have completely lost interest. I don't even care if it's the next Uber at that point. I'm just wanting to get out of the meeting. That's not good. You should not be in the first 30 seconds. They should not be going, when can I get out of this meeting? It should be like, oh my God, tell me more immediately right now. And it's because the offer, like you're not selling the dream. You're not lining up the offer where it's like, oh, this is clearly like what needs to happen, or I need to work with this company, or this company, it has exactly what I want. Like every pitch should be different. It's like when you send a cover letter for a resume, you don't send the same cover letter to McDonald's that you would to Microsoft. You write a new one for Microsoft and tailor it exactly how Microsoft would need it. And I'm finding that every pitch I go into, they either don't know enough about me, or they don't even know like what I do or what they're hoping for. And 3, I don't even think they know exactly what they want from me. I'm like, hey, look, what would be the best goal out of this meeting? Like, what are you hoping I do? And I would say most of them don't even have an answer to that. They're just kind of sitting there. And so I would say it's probably about how you line yourself up and how you present yourself, and what people think when they get in a conversation with you. Do you have anything to add to that?
100%. Yeah. So with that too, a lot of them just don't know who they're actually talking to. They're trying to have a conversation and develop a relationship with the recruiter who's looking for specific things.
Yeah.
If you're not targeting those specific things in your copy, you're not going to be able to connect with them. They're going to be like, the hell is this? You're wasting my time.
Right. And actually, let's we did this on, I think
too, in your position, understanding the right questions to ask will set you up a long way in your consultation calls and everything else. Right. To deliver a return on investment for them.
Precisely, dude. Precisely. And I'm going to pull up just super quick for people to see. I did this on T-Town the other day, but I'm going to pull up my website to show you guys some of the changes I made and just like kind of a visual of what we mean by this. So when I say like line up the offer, this website used to say something like about me and then like things I offer. And then it was just like review video, console, like whatever I was offering, right? And in there, it just like labeled what it was and how much it was kind of thing. But instead, I changed it to be like, oh, like I need to line this offer up to where at the end they want the offer rather than me trying to convince them that this is the right offer. So like you get to the website, it says, what if I told you there's a way it tanks the traffic come to your business? Most companies have issues with these things. There is a way, and they go, okay, well, like what is the answer? So they have to keep scrolling. And then they say, here's like, and then I kind of hit them with a little bit of things that I've done, why maybe I'm qualified, maybe why you'd want to work with me. And then I hit them again with the issue and then the solution. And then I have all the offers here. And then within each of these offers is its own little funnel that they go through. And by the end, they said, okay, this is the best bang for my buck. I have to choose between one of these packages. And then boom, they email me. I've made it easy. They don't even have to send me an email that they come up with. They literally can just copy and paste this and add in their name and fill it out. And it's just really easy for them. And one of the main things I picked up from it was that I think it's in the book, confused mind always says no. And I can't even tell you beyond, like, that is so factually true. It hurts me how true that is. Like, if I'm even slightly confused as to how this could work for me, I'm already out. Like, I just don't, unless it's such a good deal, but most of the time your pitch isn't going to be that impressive. A confused mind will say no. And so you have to cut out every single side question they're going to have and cut them off, dude. No side quests. No side quests. We stay on this cruise. No side quests. No little, what's it called when you're on a cruise and you go on to like, starts with an E. Excursions. No excursions. No excursions. They stay on the offer and they get the offer that you want. You funnel them to the exact offer that you want. But yeah. Anyways, we also have analysts here in underage jobs and Web3 careers. We have analysts. We have Discord moderator, alpha caller, community manager, social media manager, partnerships manager. Is there any of those you want to expand on before I keep moving on?
All of these can be attracted via content.
What do you mean?
And that's how you get introduced to these positions. Think of how you got your position as an analyst and alpha caller, right? They just saw a piece of your content and was like, oh, this is interesting. This guy knows what he's doing. What if he can do for us?
Yeah. And I didn't, at that point, I didn't even have an offer. I wasn't even saying I'm doing this or that. Also the good thing here with we have analyst, Discord mod, alpha caller, community manager, social media manager, and partnerships manager. That potentially could be an all-in-one inclusive package, depending on your skill set, depending on what you know about business and how you can basically apply all the things we just talked about in the sales funnel for like how you market yourself. And you say, hey, here's my experience doing this, that, and the other. I've also done this in the past. So if you hire me, I can take care of all these positions, meaning you can cut your costs by 70% because I can do all of the things. That's a pretty fucking irresistible offer if you're looking for a social media manager who also says in the meeting, I can also handle your partnerships and I can handle your social media and I can do all this. Just bring me on full time. Dude, if you're a project and you're trying to get some like, say you're trying to save some money, condense your team a little bit, that's a fucking easy sell right there. So, and that's basically stacking skills and networking. You don't even have to be the guy who does all of it. I found that if you can point someone to the direction of that, that also is really helpful. You're like, hey, I can't, this is from Alex Hormozy. I can't help you here, but that guy down the street can, or this person I can connect you with can, but I can help you out here. And that's instantly going to build that rapport with them. They're going to say, damn, Bryce really be knowing everybody out here. Bryce really can do this. Bryce can do social media partnerships. He knows this person. He's connected with that person. And it's really, really easy. Like those things can sort of be lumped together. So yeah, just a little bit of, I don't know, business alpha / work alpha there.
Business alpha is always enjoyable, Kyle.
It's true. It's true. Next, we have marketer. We also have lore writer, advisor, consultant, developer, artist. Do you want to expand on any of those?
Have the self-awareness to know who you are.
Or what you want to do too.
Exactly. If you have something you're interested in, spend 50 hours actually learning it versus just saying, oh, I can do it, and then try and bullshit your way through it.
So how about this? Pretend you woke up just now and you were like, man, I want to be a community manager. What would be your avenue to get there? Would you do what you did already? Would you jump into YouTubers and TikTokers that you know and try and jump into that community like that, the way you did with me? Or how would you do it today if you woke up and said, I want to do this?
What's good, Ash?
Hey, what's up, Ash?
One of the things too, I would say it's because you were up and coming. So I was like, okay, this guy probably will read my messages that I actually send. So we'll try and see what happens here.
Yeah.
And most of the communities now, they're kind of more tight knit, right? So you're going to have more of an opportunity to get that relationship started. But yeah, just like I was doing. And I was going even more in depth and being like going to all your live streams and everything else.
And you're moderating in there too, answering questions, pointing people, sending links.
Community manager would do anything to help single me out and like say, wow, this dude can do a lot for me.
What else can be something extra? Like, is there content you can make that would be extra? Like, for example, I have a new thumbnail guy who I go to for a lot of the thumbnails, which is probably for people who noticed, the thumbnails look 100 times better than all my other ones in the past. Didn't realize how bad mine. Well, mine aren't bad. They just were not good. I would say it's probably a good way to put it.
He's got more gradients than you. You just have a nice white background, and that's it. Even though say the white background is a cheat because you're not really creating that depth of field. But
it's a cheat. I mean, I basically put a Gaussian blur on the background to separate my subject, which is usually my face and whoever else, and the background. But yeah, he has a little bit more experience as far as depth, as far as color grading. He also has the thing that highlights my face, whatever color the background is, which looks fucking sick. And yeah, he's really good at it. But the way he did it is he emailed me and sent me a bunch of other thumbnails he's made, and it was like, hey, I can make something like this. And I was like, holy shit, that's really good, actually. But another way you could do that is like, if you're a community manager, you can make content that would be really helpful and maybe even pushing the boundaries of what a social media manager or a community manager does, and just make like 50 of those videos, spend like a couple months probably making those videos, or a couple of weeks, make a bunch of those videos for a lot of people, and just like send it to them and be like, yo, you can use this. I just made this for you. Or I love doing this kind of video. I made a few of them for your channel because I like your brand. Dude, not everyone's looking to hire. Like, some people just aren't in that position, but some people are. And dude, I mean, you literally don't know what can happen. They could literally see that video and say, okay, you're full-time with me. I want you. That can happen. 100% can happen. So yeah, it's a big one. And I saw Michael said, what about consultant? Consultant's good. It just, you just have to have something to consult about. If you just like have been in Web3 for a while, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say you're a consultant. I think you've got to have something in Web3. Web3 is just the world we're playing in. But you know, just because you trade it doesn't mean you know anything. Like, I see way too much of that. Like, how to flip NFTs. I'm like, bro, you got lucky. Like, what do you mean? What? So like, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you have to have a skill in the Web3 world to actually have any. I mean, otherwise you're just kind of screwing people over out of their money because there's something that you offer. Like, you have to have something that separates you. And also, Ash, happy belated birthday, bro. Okay, so now we have artist, editor, head of product, assistant, lawyer, tokenomics advisor, and producer. Any of those you want to expand on?
Producer sounds very broad. What do you mean by that?
I guess producer would maybe be probably more of an in-person thing, but in my head, the producer is back end. So that also could probably fit into the category of maybe community manager. It just depends. Like, it depends how big your project is and how big the thing that they're managing is, because their goal might be the community, not so much you. The producer would be more helping you, like almost like an assistant. So like a producer and assistant can almost be one. I guess the kind of the way I look at it as far as a producer, like, they just make sure all the stuff gets done, all the videos get done. The stream is set up, like these things that I was doing in the stream before, like trying to get the title out and post it and like go live on TikTok at the same time. Like, those are the things I look at almost like for a producer to just handle. I don't know. Like, what do you think? What do you think a producer fits as?
Well, that's why, whether or not you're saying like a producer, you already said like a head of product, but like a physical producer or just like a straight video content producer, just something like that, like like the social media manager or anything like that, because that's where I see the manager itself would be the typical producer that it sounds like you're trying to say.
Yeah. And then we also have tokenomics advisors. So there are people who just get this shit, who just understand tokenomics. And if you're a tokenomics advisor, a better way to upsell yourself would be to partner up with someone who's really good at marketing, but actually good at marketing, not just going to buy a fucking stupid Facebook ad and say I'm a marketer. That's not how it works. At everybody on LinkedIn who tries to connect with me, who says social media manager or like social media marketer promoter, I'm like, fuck you, dude. You literally just take people's money and spend a fraction of it on a Facebook ad and tell people you're a marketer. Does not count. But if you're a tokenomics advisor, the best thing to do, I think, is to get another guy or girl who's good at marketing and then package you together and say, this is now a whatever package, and I offer the tokenomics, and then my friend offers the marketing, because the tokenomics are useless without the marketing. Like you're gonna have a game that is like perfectly tuned in, has all the tokenomics dialed in, except nobody wants to play. What's the point of any of it, right? So that's where tokenomics advisors sit in. And as far as making the game make sense, which, by the way, kind of like opens up that whole conversation about the metaverse and gaming and Ready Player One and virtual experiences and stuff, which I bet you probably have a lot of opinions on because you're a gamer.
A lot of opinions.
Tell me, bro, where do you see this world going?
First, that's going to be the biggest thing. That'll introduce a lot more people to then be more committed to the bigger metaverse shit that we're trying to incorporate with everyone here.
What do you want? Do you want Ready Player One? Do you want Avatar, things like that? Do you want an immersive experience like that? Do you think that'll even work? And how long could that take?
Yeah, it'll take some time for sure for it to work, but it's better off for everyone. It makes everything simpler. That's where we're moving. Everything to be simpler and easier to get.
Where do you see yourself playing in there? What's the metaverse here? Where are you trying to be? What are you trying to set up for yourself in like a broad sense?
Yeah, in that point, I like, you know this, but I would love the production side of things, to like actually making the assets, making the content, making all these things possible, right? Metaverse is only the game engine really that's operating that you control, right?
Yeah.
That's typically how it's going to be used. And that's how we're going to interact with it. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, the metaverse makes me really excited. Like we see some conversations. I feel like, honestly, I don't know. I feel like every time someone brings to the metaverse, they always say people talk about this. I don't think people talk about metaverse that much because it's such a weird little hazy version of the future that nobody really knows is coming. For me, I'm like, it's very obvious, and in my opinion, it's very clear what that looks like. As far as what's actually important, it's just a more digital version of today. It's pretty much as simple as it, and as complex as it needs to be. Honestly, it's just a more digital version of today. And everyone's already said it, pretty much on the metaverse anyway, especially if you're in Web3, you're just on your phone. I always say this in my podcast, like I haven't gotten a haircut, even though my hair is probably 5 inches too long, because it looks better on camera right now. Like it looks fine on camera. It looks good. And so I'm like, all right, well, there's no point in getting my hair because like I don't give a fuck what people think in real life, because 90% of my life matters online versus my real life, right? Like, I don't care what people on the street think. And if I need to put a hat on when I meet someone in real life, that's fine. I'll just do that. But as far as the metaverse, dude, I'm just like, dude, it's just gonna be more digital today, like or more digital than today. That's the only thing that matters. And innovation will always innovate, so we'll always be innovating, and more things will happen. But as far as like how you set yourself up, I mean, it's just going to be expanded on more what we have here, like whatever skills that it takes to navigate the metaverse right now, which is social media. It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be how you market yourself, how you put out content that's really good, and how you attract people to your brand. And that's why it's so important for me to start a brand. We have the Joyage Kingdom here. I'm not interested in having a Cade Kingdom. That sounds stupid. Like it makes way more sense to have a Joyage Kingdom, have social circles, have groups. You know, there's some people planning, like we had Internet Game do their thing. We didn't exactly participate in that, but like Internet Game tried to do their thing there. I think it's a good start. But those are like, I don't know, that just seems so obvious, and like that sounds plausible to the future of what we want. Like everyone's living on TikTok right now. Like you see the comment sections. I feel like there's like TikTok subculture, internet subculture has literally completely flip-flopped and is now the main driver, and then like real life stuff is almost like secondary. People climb the mountain so they can take a photo of them on top of the mountain.
Yeah, and that's how it's going to be until something else comes in and knocks everyone out, right? But that will probably be Interlink or something that Elon comes up with.
True. And we have head of product. This will be the last one. So head of product. So I guess someone's fairly obvious. Like if your company has a product or something they're trying to roll out, they'll be in charge of that stuff and pretty much all the production that goes in behind that. And head of product, I think it's important if you're not going to take care of yourself. It depends on how deep it goes and like how complex it is. Like for me, I don't need one because I'm just doing clothes. It would have been helpful if I could have afforded someone to like do the clothes for me, because that was expensive and difficult to figure out. But I don't know. I think head of product is important. There's one for Izu, Kyle, who's in charge of head of product, and that's like an entire job on its own. It just depends like how big your ecosystem is, how much money you have to get out there. But if you're an expert, like the main reason I brought up all these things is because like whatever your expertise is in, we just listed 20 of them. There's a way to make that into a job. The Web3 world is just a big pool, a small pool actually, a small pool of people trying to do something for the future. That's all it is. So if you can come in and market yourself and frame yourself to the outside world that you're an expert in this, and you're funny and you're friendly and you can network with people, and then in my opinion you post a lot of content, then there pretty much is no limits. You can pretty much get whatever you want. You just have to, in my opinion, make more content about it, and that way people know who you are and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have there. So I was gonna say we could move a little bit away from like NFT metaverse talk and move a little bit more into, I don't know, how you got into NFT space, and then prior to NFT space, Bryce.
Yeah, so what got me into the NFT space was really just digital asset ownership. That was the biggest thing that I was like, holy shit, this could actually be real. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it, but all my stuff that I've grinded years to get on Call of Duty, I can't use those anymore. I have Dark
Bryce took a massive L.
And I'm like, what the hell? Master Prestige, literally. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it was a status symbol in school and everything, but now it's like, you're a fucking idiot. What?
That's true. That's true. Also, what do you think about the fact that like you can pretty much buy everything now? Like you can buy verification. Like everyone who's verified on Twitter has bought it for everyone who's watching.
I don't know if that's gonna stick.
Like
the tokenomics of it, if we want to go into that, are just like shit. It'll ruin the status of the verified signal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how do you think it should be, right? Like if you're in Call of Duty and you have X stuff that you've accomplished, but you bought all of them, like is there a way to know that you bought them versus like earn them? And the same with like social media, like what do you think the best avenue forward should be?
So what I've actually had to go into more recently, but I heard from Brett Malinowski's recent video about the South Korea going to more blockchain-based IDs.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a soul-bound NFT, to where it's literally attached to your wallet, and like I didn't know about that. And that's like that'll be more like the rankings and tiers and shit like that.
Yep.
To where you can't sell a tier because it makes no sense. Oh, I'm #1 in the world, but you bought it off a secondary. Like, the fuck.
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really important. Soulbound token is something I'm going to be implementing into my brand. So for people who sign up for the Brilliance reviews, they'll get a Soulbound token or something along that sort, where there's no way to fake and buy it from someone else, or at least if they buy it from someone else, you'll see that, okay, Kate did not transfer them this NFT. It's going to be like an example of like having gone through my audit of the reviews, like, okay, like we get like a nice little trophy, like we survived the review kind of thing. And that would be kind of like a Joyage Kingdom audit, which is a thing in the future. Like that's a setup for the future, because I want the brand to be more legit and be like, okay, like we went through the Joyage Kingdom audit system. I want that to be like a staple for any NFT project, metaverse project that comes in, because then that makes lots of money and I get to be that guy. But not only do I make money, it's like I get to be the guy who does that, which is way bigger than any money I'll make. It's like that narrative around me. And what else was I going to say?
If I can interrupt you here, to that point, there are a bunch of auditors out there. What's going to separate you more than anything is you.
That's a fact.
And what's going to get people to actually be connected with you. Right. Yes.
And the other way I was going to use Soulbound tokens is with my Joyage Kingdom access keys. For anyone who knows what those are my NFT art photography pieces. And the access token there is basically right now it's just more of a support token for me. But I want that to be a Gary V Friends type of situation. But there's only going to be a max of 100. I don't even think it'll be 100, but a max of 100 of them. And I also want them to be good, like art on their own, which I think they are. And I think they could hang with all the big boys on any kind of photography, whatever they're called, like gallery. Anyways, what I want to do is I want to make the Soulbound token for that and have that also be an avatar, but it's attached to the access key NFT. So like they go together. So that you buy one, you get the other. Because I want people to also have my photography and be able to rep it as an avatar. Because they're not going to rep a fucking black and white picture of me or like somewhere where I'm at. Doesn't even make sense. So I'm like, okay, I want to have an avatar for the Joyager, for the Royager to have there. I think that's something that could be really big for art collections. Like if Fidenza dropped that, for like, could you imagine that? You buy a Fidenza art piece, which is like $1 million, but like you're not gonna rock a random art piece of like a poster on your PFP. You want an avatar. So like if Fidenza made a Soulbound token to that NFT where it shows, hey, I have a fucking $1 million art piece. Here's the avatar that goes with it, and everyone knows that. That's a massive flex, which I haven't seen anyone do. I just don't. That'll be in the future for me. But
yeah, I wonder for the dev work with that, and especially you're gonna have to update it with the marketplace too. So it's like,
yeah, and that's a moving thing, dude. I mean, that's literally happening as we go.
I'm definitely not a dev.
Dude, that shit is fucking hard. What do you think about all that drama between like OpenSea, Magic Eden, X2Y2? They're all like battling each other.
Bear market vibes. That's really it. You got to stir up some controversy somehow. That's how these things get popular. Plus, they know their audience is Twitter people who are going to follow around hype and shit, right?
Yeah,
otherwise,
that's a fact.
Really wouldn't do it. That's why Wendy's is shit posting everything.
Correct.
That's why Slim Jim is in your Instagram feeds all the time.
Correct. Very correct, actually. I didn't even think about this, but like, for people who don't know, I would say 75% of my content is not geared toward degens, hence why I don't have 100K or anything like that. None of my videos, not as many of my posts are geared towards that. Like, they're really, really geared toward the builders, which is a way smaller pool. And so that's why the engagement and also the posts and all those things get less views and stuff, because like people who are degens aren't clicking on those videos because there's nothing for them to gain. Like it's for those builders, because I think that's more helpful for my brand now. But I have started to shift a little bit, and like that's where I started to think about my tweets more. I'm like, okay, like who am I trying to target with this tweet? And like, should this have more engagement? And like, how can I make this have more engagement if it's a tweet for degens versus when I make a post that's like specifically for content creators, which I do all the time. That's going to be a fucking, that's like 1% of my audience, right? Like, of all the followers, like there's a bunch of degens, a bunch of random people, but only a small percentage are actually social media people who are on YouTube. And so like, of course there's going to be a tiny amount of engagement because there's a small pool of people who are looking for that kind of content. And it is important. And it's like pretty much the most important thing when you're making content. You're right. Like the OpenSea and X2Y2, they're aware that 99% of their audience is degens trading on their NFTs. That's actually really smart. Good point there, dude. Good point. Yeah, good shit. Do you remember the first NFT that you bought?
Yes, it was one of your things.
It was?
Comments. Yeah.
Oh shit. Dude, I still fuck with them. I really, really fuck with them. I've been staying up with their stuff. They're actually moving back into a different version of their 2D art, which I actually really like. But I interviewed Hunter, and that was a great podcast. I really do still like them. I still hold a bunch.
I think I paper handed at like 0.02 or something. So like from 0.049 to 0.002 is like ridiculous.
L.
Very.
And then you also bought like a recent NFT that you like.
Yes, well, there was another one before that, but the one I'm rocking right now, Godly.
How'd you find that one? Godly Legions?
Yeah, Godly Legions. It was just straight up on OpenSea, and then I was just searching through shit that I'd like, and I had it sometimes. And then I was just like, I checked the price like every week or so, and I was like, oh shit, this dumped. Let's go.
Dude, I honestly like finding NFTs like that. Like for like one of the things I talk about sometimes when, especially for art collections, if I'm in a console call or something and they're trying to sell out the collection, like do a mint day and stuff, I'm like really not about that strategy anymore. I'm like, guys, mint day is such a unnecessary, stressful event. It just doesn't need to be a part of any launch. You don't need a mint like that. Like it's pretty much inevitable. You're either gonna have zero interest and FUD because it didn't work out the way you wanted, or you're gonna have too much interest and the price pumps up and crashes immediately after. Like there's no other option pretty much. Like it's either one of those. And I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, why not just drop the collection and just have it on, like, I don't know, this makes sense to me. Like have it on OpenSea. Some people will stumble on it the first couple of weeks, couple months. You'll have a small little audience there. And then you start, I don't know, just talking about the things that your NFT offers. Like just change up the strategy. Like your NFT is a membership to this. Here's what you get. They're available here. You can buy them right now. And it's just like, it's almost like buying packs at a store instead of like trying to, I don't know, like it puts, like the mint day puts so much pressure on the floor price. Like mint day is all about looking at the floor price. And I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? We've like, I feel like we've moved on from there. But anyways, that's how you find your NFT.
The ideas behind it, but you have to think too, a lot of the people that are valuing the mint date as like the big goal are really just not understanding what they're trying to look for. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's our collection, like you said. Why would they value a mint?
Mm-hmm. True.
For what purpose? It's
actually
not trying to be a sustainable thing. It's an art. It's an art collection. It's
exactly
one done thing, and then the secondary sales are what are going to actually help you.
Mm-hmm. Do you think so? You can talk about this a little bit. You're on a team of an NFT project as community manager.
Yes, I am.
What have you learned working on that team? I guess, or like just talk about some of the things being on an NFT project team is actually like. Systems
and processes. 100%. You got to
How
be
so?
educated. You got to be trained in what roles are delegated to who and where you got to go. You cannot do everything 100% of the time, which is why you have another person that's responsible for X, and then another person responsible for Y. That'll
What are
help
your specific
from an
goals?
accountability standpoint, and then just everything else. What was that? I'm sorry.
What are your specific responsibilities? And they say, here's exactly what's expected of you and what you're not expected to do.
So for community management, for me, I am to engage in Gen Chat, keep people happy and everything. I spam Summon Dragon a lot. If you go into Dual Realms Discord and do that, I will instantly friend you. Answer some tickets, which are always, I have to clear them by like 8 o'clock or so, which is when I end up doing it.
Nice.
And then I have another thing to where I have to manage collaborations. I have to post on AlphaBot for some of the giveaways, right? But most of the AlphaBot spot, the AlphaBot stuff is from a template from someone else, right? So they compile it all through there, and then I have the role of just posting it and then making sure everything's done.
Got ya. So is that pretty general for people who are trying to be a community manager? Like that's pretty much what the responsibilities are. Are there any extras that maybe you haven't started doing, you're not doing yet? And also like what changes after mint day? Is that something they're still hoping to keep you on the team for and the role changes at all? Or do you know what happens after that?
Yeah, so the role changes, not in the sense of your roles are different. It's more just the psychology behind it. You're not trying to introduce a lot of people into a mint that is pre-reveal, that is, you need to educate a lot of people. Like at that point, you're already kind of aware of what you're trying to do. And then you're just, hey, if you need any questions, just ask me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. True.
But it's
Right
really
on.
the same thing at that point.
Cool. All right. I want to move into a little bit more like rapid fire Q&A things. It's not rapid fire, but just like different interesting questions. So we'll keep them a little bit on NFTs still. Do you have any in real life friends who even are aware of your NFT life, your Web3 life?
Yes, I have one who is a personal trainer. At this time, she's in Virginia. Yeah. And she's killing it over there. And
Nice.
I'm trying to introduce her to NFTs for her personal training thing.
Very cool. That would be cool. I mean, NFTs make sense there, dude. I mean, it's just swap out the membership for an NFT, same shit. Right. It's hard though, because like the big struggle there is like, what's the point? You know, and like that's tough. That can be tough. It just depends if you care to innovate. If you care to be early on something, then I think that's where the benefit is mostly. Because it's like
doing a lot of younger clients, so she's not really having to educate them with a lot of things. There are a lot of tech people.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have anything that comes to your mind that's surprising about the NFT space? Something that hasn't happened or is happening or isn't happening the way you want or think? Anything surprising?
I am glad that it is internet culture first versus business culture first, right? It's more approachable for everything that we're doing. And then it's the people who actually know business and are learning things like .com secrets and $100 million offers that can literally 10x everything.
So what do you think about the Reddit?
Reddit
NFTs.
Yeah, Reddit NFTs were definitely overlooked by a lot of people. Literally, what, 2 or 3 months after they minted, everyone's talking about them. Like,
yeah, well, I guess more like on the subculture of Reddit and like 4chan and internet memes and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a different platform, right? So it's a different community in general. But that whole thing, I was never a part of 4chan in that kind of subculture, but I am a big fan of shitposting and everything like that. So it would make sense for Reddit to be a home for a lot of those people.
Yeah. Actually, that's shitposter's one of the jobs I left out. There's a head of memes, head of vibes culture as well, which you can also market yourself as both. If you're any kind of manager of sorts, you can also do that. But dude, the head of vibes is a thing, and I think it should be I mean, it already was like kind of a thing, but I think people still kind of overlooked it. But like, if you don't have one of those, like, it's really hard to compete because some of the best projects have that already, or it's just someone who's aware of that and is able to post those things. It's just mainly for me, it's like being culturally aware is like how I look at head of vibes. Like you need to have someone there who's in charge of like the culture, and that's what the community manager is supposed to do. I see a lot of them just end up not really doing a community manager. They're just like being a reply guy to things, and I'm like, there's still more work to be done there. That's more nuanced stuff, I guess. You have to just know from experience and like having been on internet culture, been in the fucking what's it called, the Call of Duty like war rooms or whatever. When you're talking shit to people, like you have to have that in your blood and be able to cultivate that kind of vibe. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
whole thing in depth. If you can't deal with that, you're probably not going to do well in that position.
Probably, yeah, probably. Okay, and I want to do a fuck, marry, kill, but it's gonna be NFT edition. So FUD, flip, or hodl. FUD, flip, or hodl edition NFTs. So, okay, FUD, flip, hodl. So let's see. We'll do big PFPs. Projects that people would know. We'll pick a new NFT, a blue chip NFT, and just an older NFT. Maybe not a blue chip.
Okay.
But here we go. We'll do. I can't do that big. I can't be like a CryptoPunk or a Bored Ape. That's too easy. So we'll have to pick something that's blue chip, but not quite that. Azuki. Who else is OG? Azuki, Deadfellas, and who dropped recently? Who was that new project that dropped really recently? Not the Rick and Morty one. We'll do Meme Land. You know Meme Land, right? From 9gag?
Yeah.
Okay. Meme Land, Deadfellas, Azuki. FUD, flip, hodl.
Right. I will. Great list, by the way. And are these by current date or like, can I say like peak Azuki?
Let's see. Yeah, we'll do peak of all of them. We'll say peak of all of them. Like peak interest for all three of them, but it's just based on like what your opinion is now. Actually, no. Hold on. Azuki's too far.
Oh my God, I was
about to say Azuki's at 35 ETH. Deadballs was at like 4, and then Meme Land's not even existing. That's different. So how about this? Right. They're all around the same, but they're all around the 10 ETH category. Let's just say they're all similar in value, I guess. But you're just trying to decide based on vibe, where you think the brand is at, where you think how the longevity of it, basically, kind of thing.
Right. Marry Deadfellas, since I love zombies and everything. Hodl Azuki, even though they crash to 0. As a rug puller and everything, but so on and so forth. And FUD Meme Land.
Damn, why are you gonna FUD Meme Land?
Because they got potential and they fucked it up.
How'd they fuck it up?
Wasn't there a big hacker that messed everything up with them? Or this was like a while ago?
Someone in the chat confirmed that. I don't think so. I think they dropped their potatoes and their potatoes are still like 2 ETH. And like I'm pretty sure it's like that's how you get whitelist. I'm pretty sure they're still doing fine. Okay, if that wasn't what happened, if they are doing normal, then does your answer change at all?
No. I don't like Meme Land.
So why hodl, or sorry, did you flip or hodl Azuki?
No, I hodl Azuki.
Hodl Azuki, but you're flipping Deadfellas, even though you're a zombie guy.
No, I'm marrying Deadfellas.
No, FUD, flip, or hodl though. You got to flip one.
FUD, flip. Oh God.
So you're gonna hodl Deadfellas or hodl Azuki?
Yeah, hodl Deadfellas.
Okay.
Flip Azuki. Yeah, I messed that up. My bad.
No worries. All right, and then I will move a little bit away from NFTs here. So, what do you think about when you're going like on a walk, when you're just wandering, chilling? I don't know. You're driving home from work or something. Like, where does your brain go? Do you think about NFT stuff? Do you think about business stuff? Do you think about life, girl?
I wish I had a girl, but it would be either on my bike or my penny board. And really, I just look at the sky. It looks dope. Especially here when it's like crazy, it looks dope.
What does?
The skyline here for where I'm at. Because I'm at Melbourne Beach, where everything literally like sunny and perfect.
True. What do you got? You got some guilty pleasures?
Yes. What is it? I cannot think of any right now. I don't know why. Fuck.
You don't have to. If you don't have one, that's fine. Skip, brain check?
Yeah.
Skip, brain check.
Brain dead.
Do you have any near-death experiences that come to your mind?
Yes, I was body surfing to where you're at the river. You're literally like, there's a big wave, and then it's like this. You have to flatten yourself, and then you go follow it down. I messed up, and then literally, I go head dive into the ground, and then my back literally almost did that.
Fuck.
I thought I was gonna be paralyzed, and then I walk up,
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
God.
oh, good. And I felt it in my back too.
Whoa.
I was, when you tighten up and everything, you're just like you can't move and shit. I thought it
Dude,
was
that's
paralyzed.
fucking scary.
It was just nerves. No pain or anything.
Wow.
So yes, it was.
That's
just
lucky.
Like, yeah, a lot
Dude,
of
that is
football
fucking
probably
lucky.
prepared me for that.
Dude, honestly, yeah, your spine's probably rock solid.
Let's hope.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that is scary. Trying to think what comes to my mind for a near-death experience. I've had a bunch. I've had a bunch of really, really close calls. I would say one of them that comes to mind that's very visually interesting is when I was in Hawaii. We were climbing the Stairway to Heaven hike, and we went up the legal route, which is a 6-hour trek through the mountains. There's also another illegal route, but you have to climb a bunch of fences and run through people's yards and stuff. And it's about an hour versus 6 hours. It's way easier, but it's illegal, and you get to actually climb the stairs to the top. It's basically like you take the shortcut to the top, or you take the long way around and around and around and around and finally get to the top. We took the long way because we want to get arrested. So we get up there, and it starts pouring rain, and it's like mud everywhere and stuff. And we were like basically barefoot because our shoes fell apart. So we're like barefoot trying to climb this mountain. And it's not quite a mountain. It's like it's almost naked. So like if you fall, you pretty much just fall all the way down to the bottom. Like there's no tree. There's not really like trees at a certain point. So we get to like near the top. We're like within 30 minutes of getting to the top. And we're like at the peaks of some of these mountains, climbing the ridges. And we get to climb one of the ridges across the ridge, right? And so it looks like this on the mountain, and you're kind of like standing here. And so if you fall, you kind of just literally slide down the mountain. And it's raining, so there's mud. It's a thunderstorm. And there's a period of there where you have to wrap around. So it's like this, and you have to like wrap around, and there's a rope that hangs from here. And you have to grab the rope and swing to the other side to get there. But if you miss or you slip, you fall down the mountain and you're dead. Like you literally fall and you're dead. And there was like 20 people on this, and they all did it. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's probably fine, right? But like I'm sitting there, I'm like, hold on, this doesn't make sense. I'm like, if I miss the rope and I jump and I don't grab the rope, I'm gonna fall down the fucking mountain. Like it's right there. And man, I ended up grabbing the rope, but that was one of the scariest moments of my life because it's actual death that you're talking about. Oh my God, that was scary. But okay. Do you have a lowest point that comes to mind emotionally?
Yes. Pandy. I had a solid girlfriend at the time. This was in college. And then this shit happens. And broke up literally around the time like all this shit started. And then I'm sitting there at home and I'm like, the fuck it was so like just alone and shit. And then I thankfully just play video games the whole day, and I was like, okay, fine. We're good.
Oh my God. Did it help?
Oh yeah.
Fire.
It got me. Oh, what is it? Forget about her for a time.
True. All right. What are there any places that you want to travel that you haven't been to yet?
Absolutely. Spain and what is it? Not Brazil. What's the thing? Shit. Chile.
Yep. Why?
I was told it's a beautiful place in the mountains.
Enough said. Right on. And then this is actually interesting. Do you have any tattoos? I feel like you might.
No, but I want some.
Where do you want them?
Right shoulder, I would get a wolf that I was actually signed up to get, but I couldn't because of the pandy. And we had to schedule and reschedule, and then it just got canned. True.
I feel that. All right. Favorite type of alcohol? I know you like that alcohol because I was with you in New York. What's your favorite alcohol?
Straight or mixing with shit?
We'll go straight first.
Straight Jack and Daniels.
Jack and Daniels. Okay. Now give me a mixed little cocktail.
Coke and rum.
Coke and rum. That's what you're gonna go for if you have a choice.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm simple.
Why?
I'm simple. If
All
I
right,
want
fair
to
enough.
get fruity and shit, I will say, "Hey, chef's choice. What do you have for me?" And then
Ah,
I'll
yeah,
learn it, right? Because
heard.
I'm not a bartender like you. That's what you got to think too.
That's also true. That's also true. Um, okay. Here's the last two
And
questions.
actually, now that I think about it, the funny thing is, I love bar rescue. So like, I probably should know drinks, but I don't.
Love it. Okay. Do you have any recurring dreams?
I do, but it's when like you remember them, but you can't really describe them at all.
I feel that.
But
I
it's
feel that.
implanted in your mind.
Are they fucked up?
No, it's a weird scenario to where you can't, like, oh my god, my dreams were so amazing, but the boy's dreams
Yeah,
were
true.
penguins in a marsh. Yeah, like so,
That's true.
it makes no sense. But like I laugh every time I dream it and wake up, and I'm like, oh my god, the same thing every time.
Okay, I lied. There's actually a couple more questions too, because now this is interesting. A couple more popped up. Do you have any conspiracy theories that you've subscribed to that you're like, yep, it's fact?
We're not in a simulation.
Oh, that's
People want to
interesting.
believe that the simulation is the conspiracy theory, but we're not.
What do you think it is?
We're just flesh and bone.
Who
That's
made
it.
us?
The sun that exploded.
Very interesting. That's actually,
Science is
yeah.
like literally all of us.
All right. Do you have an irrational fear? Spiders?
Irrational, right? No, but my aunt is fucking terrified of lizards that are here all the time in Florida, and I have to go like pick them up and literally walk them out. She wants me to kill them, but I have to save them because I'm me.
Save him, bro. Save him.
I know.
That's funny. All right. Yeah. Well, how about you though?
Yeah, me nothing. I can't really.
Nothing?
No, like irrational fear, like it's more rational fears, like, oh, you're gonna die. Okay, I just won't do it. But irrational, probably like claustrophobia, maybe.
Okay. Claustrophobia?
But like super, super tight. Like literally, I can't move my shoulders. Then I'd be like, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah. One of the scariest feelings is when I remember one time I was like, I forget if I was playing hide and seek or what, but I was like in a box or something and I couldn't lift my torso. And I think the feeling of being strapped down, or like if, like, for example, if I was tied down to a chair or something, or sorry, tied down to a bed.
Right.
Well, actually, I don't know. It wouldn't be me being tied down. It'd be me like having a, like if I was buried alive or something and I couldn't sit up or like push the thing off me. Oh, I would feel that. I can feel the stress in my chest right now just thinking about it, like being stuck. I think when I was a kid, maybe I got stuck in a box or something like that. I got stuck in somewhere where I couldn't move and I couldn't sit up, and I feel like of not being able to get up and get this thing off my chest, that like hurts me physically, and it like makes me stressed just thinking about it. So yeah, biggest fear for me is probably, huh?
Make sure you get cremated then. Don't get buried.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I don't even think about that. Yeah, I don't think I have any other big fears. Cockroach. I've gotten better with roaches and stuff like that, but I'm really not a fan of cockroaches. I don't like how fast they can move. It's really annoying, and they just bother me, dude. I just don't like the way they look. Okay, final question.
It's fun that way. I play whack-a-mole with them.
I hate it, dude. I hate the fact that when you like, if you step on it too, they like their back breaks or something, like some weird, gross crunch sound happens. I'm just not about it, dude. Nothing about roaches. Huh?
They don't die that quick. You always have to hit them like 4 times.
I just hate roaches, bro. I just don't like them. Just don't have any love for them. Okay. Also, fam, if you're in the chat right now, if you got a last minute question, drop them in. This is the time, because I only have one question left. So if you have something you're wondering, ask it again. If we missed your question, ask it again. Here's my final question. What's your favorite food chain?
Food chain. I know everyone loves Chipotle and everything. I know you're a big Chipotle fan.
Chipotle is the best. Choose your next words carefully.
No.
What's up, Evergreen?
I like making food, so like, fuck.
Favorite food chain, or you can do favorite food. You can, like, I remember when I asked the X2Y2 guy, he just said sushi.
Right, because I make shit all the time. I always mix shit.
What do you like?
So if it's sushi, I like literally I'll make a bowl of ramen and then just mix something out with it.
That's your favorite food though, sushi?
No. Right. No, if I have something and I'll just mix it with something else, and then it's like, oh, it's just okay. It's
True.
all going down one place, so I'll enjoy it either way.
So that's your answer?
No, I want to give an actual answer, but I can't think of one right now.
Steak, tacos, Vietnamese noodles, ramen, curry.
No. Oh, Texas Roadhouse, because the buns.
Texas Roadhouse.
Yes, because the buns. Those shit and the what is it? The honey butter, insane.
Anything with butter butter, dude. Like California Dreaming has those, like the rolls, some kind of roll with some kind of honey butter, and those things hit fucking different, dude. Those things are so good. Right. I could eat those forever. Like Outback Steakhouse has like that black bread, like that thick bread, and it's warm, and you just have this like warm butter, and it's just like,
yeah,
wow, man. That's
I like eat so much of that too.
Bro, insane. For me, another part of the reason I eat Chipotle every day instead of food and cooking and stuff is I only eat that. Like I pretty much just eat that bowl. And there's like a hack to get more food and stuff. So I do the hacks, obviously, and get all the food. But also, like, I don't keep any other food. There's not a single bit of food in my apartment except when Chipotle's in here or I go and buy something. Like I cannot keep snacks in my house. And it used to be that way with weed. I can keep weed in here now, and I'm getting better at not smoking it every 5 seconds I see it because it's there, because I know it's always going to be there. I don't have to worry about it like running out or something. With food, I haven't quite gotten there yet. So if there's a bag of pretzels or chips, it's going down the gullet as fast as possible immediately, because I grew up with a family where snacks don't last more than a day or two. So like you get it when it's there. You know what I mean? So like I'm still working through that childhood trauma.
Break that condition, son.
Oh man, yeah, but I'm a snacker.
Yeah, you're a snacker. What is it? My favorite snack, though, look into what is it? Nutter Butters. That shit is
Nutter Butters
delicious.
are good. Nutter Butters are good. For me, it's one of those, like, I'll eat those kind of snacks are more like one-offs, like anything that's like candy. I just get those every now and then. I don't really crave things like that. Like I do crave chips. I think I crave the saltiness of them. So I like salty snacks like that. But never been a big candy. I love chocolate though. Love chocolate. Yeah, everyone watching this is like, it's like lunchtime right now. So everyone's like watching this, like, can they fucking wrap this up so we can go eat food or something? I'm definitely about to go get Chipotle, I think. 2 o'clock. Yeah. What's your move? What are you about to do?
I just had leftovers last night. I did pasta with a little bit of the sausage grindings. You just have that ground up like that. This thing is fucking good.
Well, guys, there you have it, dude. Bryce Lewandowski, head community manager of the Joyage Kingdom, among other things, crushing it in the game. Do you have anything you want to say? Any shout outs or any last minute somethings to the world?
Last minute somethings. I'll leave you with this.
Oh boy.
Be aware of who you are. Don't feel forced to be anything that you're not. That's fact.
That's a fucking mic drop right there, guys. Mic drop 101. Bryce Lewandowski is the king there, guys. If you made it to the end, like this video, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. I have Bryce. All his stuff is not down below in the description. If you want to check his stuff out, you can follow him on Twitter, TikTok. I don't even know where else you're at, but everywhere you can find him in that one link. It's his link tree or something like that. So make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel, do those things, and code word. What should we do the code word as?
What was it?
Code word.
Joyage.
Joyage? Sounds like a
Joyage.
Joyage to the moon. Code word, if you made it to the end, is Joyage to the moon. We appreciate you guys. Some of you guys have been here since the very beginning. So if you were, I really do appreciate you. Love you guys. And yeah, well, I mean, more videos coming out, more podcasts coming out, lots more content coming, Web3 of the world, NFTs of the future, all those things. So yeah, till next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video.